Hello guys, welcome. This video will be about event delegation, as I said in the previous one. It will be only about this, very short, very fast, and we will only be working on this page. As I said before, and I say it again, if this is too hard and you don't understand, don't worry, keep watching. It's just this subject that is particularly strange, but then we will move into something that is more understandable and even that is actually is used. This event bubbling, event capturing, event delegation, they're not really used much, but sometimes you may face it. Okay, so then as I said, event delegation is a is not something, is a concept. Event bubbling and event capturing are part of this concept. So to describe this concept, the only thing we can do is to just to show examples, I think. So here there is a table, the table of Bagwell diagram reflecting the ancient philosophy. Okay, the point is that the point is that we want when we click on our table, we want to highlight the exact table. The normal method would be to highlight every single TD inside the table. But this is not scalable, and of course is not scalable because now there are 9 tables, but there can be 99, 9099. So we need to find another way. Instead of assigning an on-click handler on each TD, we'll set up a catch-all handler on table element. Okay, let's see this. Let selected TD table on click, it triggers a function event. Let target equal to target dot event. So the event that has happened is saved into the variable target. If the target dot tag name, so where there is the tag name that you clicked, is not TD, then you just return and nothing is done. In case it is a TD, then you highlight the target. And you are calling a function that is called highlight. So let's see what highlight it does. Highlight function, there is a conditional statement that it says if selected TD, so if it's already selected, so if this is equal to true, it's already selected, remove highlight. So it was already highlighted, you clicked it, it becomes normal again. In case it's not already selected, so it's normal, it's not highlighted, selected TD, this becomes TD. So we are assigning to this variable we defined the TD tag name, and then selected TD dot class list dot add highlight, which is a CSS attributes that will display the highlight color. Let's say it's not really a color, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I think everything might be clear, maybe not, doesn't matter. Such a code doesn't care how many tables are there. We can add remove TD dynamically at any time and it will still work. But there is a drawback. Because inside the TD can have childs. We have TD, then strong, you click on strong, it won't work because we have selected TD here. Okay, so how to fix it? Okay, in the table on click, we should take such. Okay, here is the improved code. Table dot on click, so on click event handler on table, it triggers a function. Let TD event dot target dot closest TD. Closest is a method of the element interface that searches for what you have selected from top to bottom inside the parent, heading from the toward the document root. Okay, blah blah blah. Let the event dot target dot closest, if is not TD, return finish. Doesn't do anything. If it doesn't contain if the table doesn't contain a TD, return. Then if it does, use highlight function, and then the highlight function that we have already defined before. Okay, I think this is clear, and this is fixing our problem because it says table.contains, and so the problem is now fixed because even if if you're clicking something that is a child of TD, it doesn't matter, it will trigger highlight anyway. Okay, so let's move into a second example. So in the second example, we wanted to implement free bottoms, and so the first thing, the first idea, we would implement a separate handler to each bottom, but there is a more elegant solution. Okay, I just pick the code and put it in my VSG to show it to you better. As you can see, this is the more elegant solution. We have our ID with the ID menu, and we are using this data action attribute to perform this concept of elegant event delegation. Okay, it's quite complicated to understand everything, but if you understand a little part, is already good enough. So let's first see the functionality. The functionality is that we have three buttons. You click on one button, it's saying saving. It clicks on another button, it says loading, and it clicks on etc, etc. Okay, the point is that we have these three functions: save, load, and search. That is they are alerting and sending script strings. But these things are handled with this class menu, which is using a constructor that you don't know what it is, most probably, and it doesn't matter. The point is that all this is handled with this keyword, this.event, that is binding the onClick function. That onClick event let action event.target.dataset action, etc, etc. There is just an if statement to double check. The point to really understand about this is that if I delete the constructor with bind this is not going to work. I come here and the code broke now because we are not binding our functions all together inside our code. Okay, and that's it. I don't want to stress more on this example because it is complicated, but it can show, even if you didn't understand, it can show that event handlers, event delegation can be used on markup and on objects with several methods. Then let's move and see this other example. So in this example, we use event delegation to add behaviors. Before we were using event delegation on markups. Now we are adding behaviors to elements declaratively with attributes and classes. So the first step is to add a costume attribute to an element that describes its behavior. Okay, so let's come here. We have counter, input type bottom, value 1, data counter. This is our special costume attribute, the attribute that describes the behavior. And same another counter, input type bottom, value 2, data counter. So we are using data counter on all the bottoms that we want because we have a document white handler tracks the event, okay, and is this document dot add event listener on click, so is listening on click events, and it's triggering function event. If the event dot target dot dataset dot counter, which means if the target, if inside the event, it takes the event, it takes the target of the event. So now it's before is this is the event object. We already saw the event object, which is a big object. Then it's taking only the target of the that we clicked. So it's only the input type bottom value data counter. Then it's taking dataset counter, which is actually just this feature. If this is not undefined, so if this attribute exists inside, then event.target.value plus plus. If it's undefined, we should it does nothing. If it's yes, no, yes, sorry, I was a little confused by the non-equal sign, but yes, if this attribute is defined, then it continues. If it's undefined, it stops. If it stops the event. Okay. I think it's quite clear, but these things, as I said, they are difficult. Maybe you don't understand what would be the second option. The second option would be to implement a function for every button that does the same thing, and then it's some sort of copy and pasting anyway. But like this, if you are able to do this kind of stuff, then it makes things faster, of course, and of course even yes, more elegant, like it says in the previous example. Okay, that's all. There is another example, actually other two examples here, but I don't mind, that's enough. You can of course watch this documentation, because I used all the documentation, so you could even just read it, of course, but I wanted to make a video on event delegation. I hope you understood, and as I said, if you didn't, it's perfectly normal. Don't mind, just move on. And when you will have other knowledge of JavaScript, maybe you come back and you watch this event delegation stuff, you read the documentation again, and you will see that everything is more clear and understandable. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.